I remember everything started happening. I got a phone call. It was about 4 in the morning. I open it up and it's Clifton. You know, he's on the other line and he's breathing heavy, you know. And his voice is quivering, you know. It's you know how when people are kind of crying and their voices, you know, kind of like you know. That's how it was. And he's like, I need help. And that was the moment when I realized he's in trouble. I'm Jack Berner's close friend to Clifton. You know, Clifton was always this interesting guy. The girls loved him. Really, everyone loved him, guys and girls. You know, a lot of people didn't know how to act around him. He was a good-looking guy, and I think that scares people sometimes.
Clifton Hirsch was a nice gentleman.
There's some weird shit about Clifton, okay? He could be doing something not good with his sister or like a dog or something.
Kind of a pretty boy. Some might call him a douchebag.
Is Clifton capable of doing what they said he did? Did? No. You know, he'd joke about it a lot. You know, he'd always say, man, I wish I could kill this person, you know. Or, man, I would just love to, like, slit their throat. Or, you know, he'd be like, maybe I can show you sometime. I've been working on some stuff in my garage, you know, like these cool, like, torture devices. Like, he was a real inventor. He was a real smart guy. I served several factions in my life, and each and every one of them had a certain degradation about them that kept... You know, I have a few regrets in my life, but the biggest one, I think, would have to be answering that phone. So I was like, okay, Clifton, where you at? I'll come pick you up, buddy. I go and get him, and he's on the side of the road, and he's got blood all over his shirt, and he doesn't even try to explain what happened. He just gets in the car and he says, do you want to go get some McDonald's? And you know what I said? I said, sure. I heard the McRibs back. 4 in the morning, we went and got some McRibs. I took him home, and the next morning, my mom comes rushing up to my room. She says, someone's on the phone for you from the police department. And he says, I'd like you to come down to the police department. We need to ask you a few questions. That's where I met Stephen Willinsix.
Stephen Willinsix is a very good police officer. If I was a little bit bored, I would think, well, what if Stephen Willinsix didn't have clothes on?
But if we take a look at the way Officer Willinsix handled my clients, let's just say he tried to smack Jack Berners around a little bit.
He took me into a small room and he sat me down. He put his finger up to me like this. I remember this so vividly, you can't even imagine. And he just started, you know, screaming, I know you did it! I know you murdered him! I know you killed him!
It's all alleged. He may have taken my very confident way of handling things to be a little bit brash.
So Stephen Willinsix goes on to tell me that they found a body last night. It was a young man by the name of Charles Champ.
I'm a collector, that's what I do, that's kind of my realm of expertise is the candy wrappers. Yeah, I was actually looking for, in particular, I was looking for Reese's wrappers this day. That's what I was looking for when I came across the body. I didn't have a phone on me at the time, so I had to go, you know, find the nearest. It was, what was it? It was, I think it was a Wendy's, yeah it was. And I went in there and I asked them if they could, you know, call the police.
You know, have you seen that movie, Texas Chainsaw Massacre? It's very similar to that.
Charles Champ went to our high school. In fact, I despised Charles Champ. But that doesn't mean I aided Clifton Hirsch in his murder. I had no communication with Clifton whatsoever. I didn't know that they had already arrested him, they had already accused him of murder, and that he was being held in the jail. So now Clifton and I are sitting in the county jail. And I looked at him and I said, Clifton, you gotta tell me right now, did you do it? Clifton says to me with those crazy eyes, you know, would it matter if I did? And I said to him, well, yes, it would very much matter to me and to most everyone if you had murdered him as opposed to somebody else. And I think it would matter to you most of all. He just starts laughing at me right in my face. And then he started going to the bathroom in the toilet and it was very awkward. And he looked at me and he said, I'm not feeling too well after that McRib. We have to start shopping for a defense attorney. And we fall upon one of the best attorneys this country has to offer. Francis Bankshaft. Francis was a dynamo.
Francis Bankshaft was talking to Julia, my wife. Man is he's crazy. He's a maniac. That's what that is. That's all I gotta say.
He is a scumbag. And the problem is Francis is a very attractive man. When I walked into that courtroom, my heart almost flew through my chest. He wore these nice suits, and I would just imagine him if he wasn't wearing the suits, if he had no clothes on. And that was a really fun thing for me to do during the trial. Kinda silly, I know. It's so silly.
I am a practicing attorney for, 27 odd years now. No, the strategy I began with these young men was I needed to meet their families. I made that a priority. I needed to meet Jack Berner's mother.
Then who do you think the prosecution gets? Sandy Rhodes. She was a bat out of hell. Nutcase. Freak show.
My name is Sandy Rhodes, and I am the best attorney possibly in the world. I love just being an attorney. I love all of the prestige a part of it. I love all the men. I love how cute they all are, and I am very intelligent and I am very beautiful. And that's a very hard pill for men to swallow. I just say take it or leave it, honestly. Most men are too intimidated. Most men have to leave it. But there's a few lucky ones, and they take it and they run with it.
So the thing that really changed the whole shape of the case was the discovery of the Hot Wheels.
The Hot Wheels were really the beginning of the journey. I could see it in Francis's eyes. He was scared.
The forensics team, they found 2 Hot Wheels cars covered in Charlie Champ's blood. Fingerprints on the car were similar to that of Clinton's. Not necessarily Clinton's, but similar to Clinton's. Clinton did have a sizable collection of Hot Wheels. This led us to something great. This led us to Darnell Fiesto.
Darnell was a collector of fine memorabilia of all sorts, but most particularly Hot Wheels.
Darnell Fiesto is kind of the resident bad boy of the Hot Wheels scene.
I'm 27 years old. I was born in Tijuana, Mexico. I like Hot Wheels because they are the staple of the Mattel brand. When you look here, you look at the... I don't have another glove. You got 4 wheels here, right? They're spinning, okay? What more do I have to say? As you can see here, I have a standard carrying case for Hot Wheels. It's a 48 car carrying case. I am a collector of the Hot Wheels, maybe 10 or 15 of these at my apartment. Look, you look in the camera right there. This is just one of my cases. We have the Green Cobra AG3 car. This was made in 2007. This car is the exact car found at the murder scene. Not the one that was actually there. This was made in 2 models. This one is the green model. Clinton's was the seafoam green model. So you got more of a bluish tint to the bottom here. I will say I'm one of the foremost experts when we have the Hot Wheels convention here in town. I'm always called to be expert on the panels. Talk to any Hot Wheels collectibles. They're going to know Darnell Fiesto, okay? They know me. They know Mr. Fiesto. I told you already, I have 10 to 15 cases of these.
Darnell may or may not have graduated from high school, and it is also true he may or may not be an illegal immigrant in the United States. But all of these things are...
I did have to start questioning his credentials. If you don't have the credentials, you can't, your testimonies can't be admissible.
I find it so infuriating. I went straight up to Sandy after that, and I asked her in private, and I said, Sandy, where did you come up with this? And she said to me, Mr. Bankshaft, well, aren't you the most handsome man I've ever seen? Aren't you so devilishly good looking? I just want to lick you up.
I had 2 friends in my life. You know who they were? Myself and myself. Give me 10 reasons and I'll give you 6. Give me 5 reasons, 14 more. Walking down the street and you see a baby.
During this time, I must say that my eyes had fallen upon a certain woman. She did have a certain connection to one of my defendants. Jack Berner's mother may have been quite helpful to their case.
Clinton was on the toilet for most of that time, and it was getting to the point where the fumes coming from the toilet were past nauseating. They were almost toxic. The McRib had inflamed something in his bowels, quite an allergic reaction, honestly. And it got to the point where he just couldn't get off the toilet. I just got to the point where I was like, Clinton, please, not today. Clinton, get off the toilet, please. And he's just sitting there, holding on for dear life. And he's like, I wish I could. I wish I could. The smoking gun of it all, the thing that really just changed it was the third Hot Wheel.
After the third Hot Wheel was discovered, you might be able to say that our efforts were futile.
I get a phone call, and it's from one of my investigators, and he says that the coroner has found a third Hot Wheel lodged in the neck of Charlie Champ's body. Okay, could it be Clinton's? And he says yes, it has Clinton's initials on it.
It was one of the quickest deliberations in the history of the judicial system. They left the courtroom. Not 30 seconds later, they came back in. Clinton is bawling his eyes out. He's crying like a little baby. I said, Clinton, why'd you do it? Why'd you have to do that? Why'd you kill Charlie? He looks at me and he says,
I killed Charlie because Charlie was a little whiny baby.
and I agreed. I had to agree. If there's one person he should have killed, it should have been Charlie. Was it right? No, not necessarily. Necessarily, no.
I remember finding solace in Jack Berner's mother. As they took those young men away, I told Jack, listen, Jack, I'm gonna take care of your mother.
As they were slapping the cuffs on me and walking me out, I look and I see Francis back with my mother, and he's kind of like sniffing her hair, all the way up. And I just remember thinking, what the hell does he mean by taking care of her? Like, what the fuck?
I did ask Francis out on a date after the trial was over, and Francis looked at me and he said, listen, I'm dating Jack Berner's mother, and you just put Jack Berner's away for possibly forever. And I was like, why are you dating Jack Berner's mother? Look at me. I grabbed my hair like this. I said, why are you dating Jack Berner's mother? Look at me. And he stopped, and he looked at me, he did, and he looked at me with those beautiful eyes, and for a minute there, I saw that he recognized my beauty.
Is anybody else hot in here? It feels like it's about 1,000,000 degrees. I can take it off.
Yes, I did. I killed him. And I would do it 1,000,000 other times because I freaking hated that kid. Do you like what I'm saying? Do you like what I'm giving to you? I'm giving you several different integrationalities